Oh my god. Matlab, what idea did Animals trailer give me about the film that I precisely chose a time slot to watch, which is just an hour after I step out of the exam hall after writing hearts and award winning answers in ethics and values exam? I should have forgotten values and ethics before stepping into the hall. Anyways, morality rant has to be scheduled for another video because then the review won't have any cinematic value, plus it would be overly long like the film. Hello Cinefam and welcome to my review of Animal, which I watched in a packed theater. Animal is the 3.5-hour long movie, obviously inspired by Scorsese, but an ambitious and vengeful attempt to tell the story of a not at all easy man who believes in the Rust Coal ideology and also believes that he is his family's savior. We have seen immensely successful as well as well made films on troubled or unlikable protagonists or people who were not easy to deal with. And that's what made their tales so fascinating, and obviously because they are so well told. Animal has a lot of flaws in it, but it's not possible to completely trash the film. Let's start by the good only then. Number one, of course, has to be Ranbir Kapoor. Man saved the film, but he couldn't have done all of it if moments like those weren't provided also. And yeah, I rarely say this. In fact, I think I said it only once, and that was for Irfan. And now I'm saying it for Ranbir. He deserves an Oscar for this role. And I say this because he reminded me of James McAvoy's performance from Split, who was definitely deserving of a nomination if the politics would have been kept aside. In every single scene, every frame, he's flawless. And I think it's a great time to be alive in the same time as this legendary actor. And yeah, as soon as the credits start rolling, the last surprise you get and the way he differentiates, it's madly good. The little subtleties he adds, they consistently impress and humanize his animalistic character. Rashmika was really impressive with whatever scope she had. Similarly, Tripti never failed to impress. Even with this short span of time, she made a mark on our minds. Anil Kapoor, although present in so many scenes, has got barely two scenes to showcase his prowess. I really like the music direction in Animal. It's essentially raw and unique, much like the film. Harshvardhan Rameshwar has done exceptional work with the BGM. Arjun Valley was dope during the fight. Also, I like the out of the box ideas and solutions that Sandeep has come up with in the film. Those looked quite impossible, but one can't deny that they were compelling as hell. Special mention for the editing, also done by Sandeep, especially when Ranbir is in hospital. The sound design and editing is too good, and it actually uplifts the experience of the film. The Iranian song is still running on my mind, and all that sound mixing, all of it was too good. The planet of Animal is built in the Sandeep Reddy Vanga universe, so don't think or try to relate the characters with the normal world because the world we see in there, it's an odd world, and that's why the first half works extremely well. You won't even know that so much time has passed. It was literally unblinkable. Every 5 minutes, there is a conversation about sex, which is the abiding force in Vanga's films. But still, whatever the dominating themes are, the film is sure as hell interesting to watch. And after sitting for 5 minutes into the film, I kept all my triggers aside and tried to watch it almost as a stoic, and only then I started enjoying it as a whole. Full of testosterone, Range Rovers, regressive men, alpha males, and triggering moments, and male gaze. The film sets its tone right from the beginning. Ranbir and Sandeep both claim in interviews that they are not endorsing their protagonist. But we all know how Sandeep is, right? What he believes and how he confidently says and shows it. Now hold to him, because we are moving straight to the flaws now. Firstly, the story feels very illogical in the second half. This is primarily because of Sandeep's personal agenda and grudge associated with everyone who has disliked his films. He shows his anger on menstruating women. He thinks all of it is acting when women act fuzzy during menstruation. महीने में 4 पैड तो बदलती हो, इतना क्यों करती हो? His hero says, who also asks a woman to lick his shoes to prove her love to him. He also explains his struggle of being on top of the woman during sex because she doesn't have to do much. Comments that his heroine is fit to be his wife because she has a big pelvis and she can accommodate healthy babies for him. Wow, interesting criteria for marriage. I just want to know what all this had to do with the plot. You all tell me if this is not personal grudge on women, critics, and feminists, then what the hell is this? The geography goes haywire. I even forgot where the actual house was. The hero shifts to anywhere, anytime to do anything he wants. That long fight with Bobby Deol with B Prak's Duniya Jala Denge in the background was totally a waste of time while being an excellent display of useless male ego and insecurity. Actually, I expected more of Bobby, and I was disappointed to see him after 2.5 hours of sitting. Although his character made quite an impact, they could have achieved a lot more from an actor like that. Didn't use all that menace perfectly. Dialogues didn't work for me at all, deliberately written to trigger and provoke a certain section of audience. If you have watched any of my reviews before, you might be aware that I have always appreciated good intentions, even if the overall product didn't materialize out to be so good. Therefore, the bold creative decisions made in this film cannot be entirely appreciated because of the vile hate spewing intentions of one man, the creator of Animal. One last thing, there are two whole scenes where whole Marathi and Punjabi conversations are going on for too long. At least be generous enough to provide subtitles, please. And I could only imagine what the characters were saying, while everyone in the hall was shouting like crazy for subtitles. I'll admit the truth. I watched Animal for Ranbir, Bobby, and how Sandeep addresses his protagonist's longing for his father's love, but ended up loving only Ranbir for his stellar part. And actually, Sandeep is extremely lucky to have Ranbir to accentuate everything in his film, without whom everything would have impacted and fallen apart. Switching between two timelines, so many geographical locations, all with a non-linear narrative is extremely difficult. After all, not everyone is Christopher Nolan. And not everyone should try to. Best example is this film. Look, it completely depends on your thought process that whether or not you're willing to step into this world without questioning, because the tone and stakes are set. You have already entered a man's world that's sexist, toxic, misogynistic, and hell of a problematic one. But once you're in, you'll start enjoying the small bits, especially Ranbir's performance is so immersive, he'll keep you hooked till the end. But the main thing is that Animal is an interesting movie that is definitely well made than the previous outings of Sandeep and has a new vibe to it. But what after that? Is it an important film? No, it isn't. If you should watch it or not, my opinion would be that if you are a Ranbir fan, then you can't afford to miss this. Till then, tell me in the comments what do you think of Animal, and I'll see you soon in another one. Lots of love and thank you for watching.